Welcome to Poetry with Shing, where we uncover the beauty behind poetry. The poem of this week is I Am by Clare. This poem is a deeply sad poem which dapples with the question of the meaning of existence. First, let's take a look at the title. The title of I Am seems like an incomplete sentence, giving the sense that the speaker exists, but there's no meaning or purpose in his existence, as he just is and just exists. In the first stanza, the dash in the first line signals the speaker's hesitance and unsureness of who he is. It could also mean that the speaker is being interrupted by his inner insecurities and uncertainties, such that he does not dare to speak who he is. The remainder of the first line brings a sadder, deeper meaning, as the speaker is revealed as someone greatly isolated from everyone else, and that the speaker is simply alive, but no one knows of his existence. His friends have forgotten about him, showing that he is of no value and significance to them. And as his friends have completely forgotten about him, it is not a matter of them hating him or bearing a grudge, but more of the sense that there's nothing to remind them of his existence, such that there's no chance of reconciliation. As such, he wallows in self-pity and hears out his own problems. These problems rise and vanish obliviously, and there is the idea of vanishing, destruction, and extinction, not only of his problems but also of himself. The speaker describes his relationship with his friends as shadows in love-frenzied stifled throes, showing that his lack of friends torment him, making him undergo mental pain and heartache. The speaker also sees love in a twisted, ugly way, manifesting in a form of jealousy and obsession. His negative outlook on life is further emphasized as he says despite all the things that make his life unworthy, yet he is, hinting at his incredulity that he exists despite all the pain he has endured, and questions the value of his life. He lives like vapors tossed, with vapor connoting the vanishing, impermanent nature of his existence, such that he is invisible, fragile, and insignificant. In stanza 2, there is the idea that the speaker sees his life as oppressive and negative, especially with regards to the external world around him, through the phrase scorn and noise. He cannot differentiate between reality and his dreams, and lives in a constant state of numbness, as connoted by the line into the living sea of waking dreams. With the contrast of waking dreams, it suggests that he has nightmares and is unaware whether he is awake or sleeping, and these add chaos into his life. The use of the imagery of living sea shows that he feels out of place in the society, much like a sea that is living, which is something that cannot happen. He sees life as meaningless as there is neither sense of life nor joys, reinforcing the idea of numbness again, and he only sees himself as the sum of his destroyed hopes and dreams, mirrored through the imagery of the vast shipwreck of his life esteems. His sense of disorientation in his life is revealed as even the dearest in his life, meaning friends and family, are stranger than the rest, suggesting the irregularity in his life such that he cannot understand those that are closest to him, something pretty abnormal. In the third stanza, it speaks of the desires the speaker has. The speaker does not want to be anywhere on earth, as he longs for scenes where men have never trod. He yearns for peace and rest from the chaotic and messy world he does not feel he is a part of. He imagines that safe haven in a wistful tone that is almost pitiful, and he seems numb and disconnected from his surroundings as he does not see the futility in his dreams and the lack of possibility of them coming to fruition. He wishes to end his life as he wants to abide with his creator God, and thus ascend to heaven, as implied by vaulted sky. He yearns to be untroubled, which is a contrast with the chaos in the previous stanzas. You must be wondering what is the reason behind the rhyming structure of this poem. The rhyming structure for the first stanza is A B A B A B, the second stanza is A B A B C C, and the final stanza is A B A B C C. The similarity in rhyming structure for stanzas 2 and 3 signal a sense of finality in his thinking, as he thinks of finality in stanzas 2 and 3, and has somewhat reconciled with who he actually is. Previously in stanza 1, he was simply unbalanced, struggling to find footing in the curious world he lives in. Now that he has come to terms with his desires, there is a note of finality to him, and for him. Want to hear another poem being analyzed? Comment the name of the poem and poet in the comments below.